Imagine waking up on a cold winter morning, looking out your window, and seeing a single set of footprints in the freshly fallen snow. They lead from the edge of the dark, dense forest, right up to your front door. But there are no footprints leading away. You'd definitely feel a bit freaked out, huh? Well, in 1922, on a remote farmstead in Germany called Hinterkaifeck, a farmer named Andreas Gruber saw this exact thing. This was just the beginning of a series of strange and unsettling events that would culminate in one of history's most terrifying unsolved mysteries. For days, Andreas and his family were plagued by unexplainable occurrences. He told his neighbors he could hear footsteps coming from the attic, even though he had searched it multiple times and found nothing. His house keys suddenly vanished without a trace. A newspaper appeared in the house that no one in the family had purchased. Andreas had this chilling feeling that he was being watched, not from the outside, but from within his own home. He felt a constant, unseen presence. Despite his friends' advice to leave, Andreas stubbornly decided to stay and figure it out for himself. It was a fatal decision. A few days later, on March 31st, 1922, the entire family went silent. Concerned neighbors who hadn't seen them for days decided to investigate on April 4th. What they found was a scene of unimaginable horror. In the barn, they discovered the bodies of Andreas, his wife Chilia, their widowed daughter Victoria, and her 7-year-old daughter, also named Chilia. They had all been lured into the barn one by one and brutally murdered with a pickaxe. Later, inside the house, they found the bodies of the family's maid, Maria, and Victoria's 2-year-old son, Joseph. The entire family of 6 was gone. But here's where the story goes from a tragic murder to something truly nightmarish. The police investigation determined that the family had been killed on Friday night. However, their bodies weren't discovered until the following Tuesday. During those long days, something very strange happened at the farm. Neighbors reported seeing smoke continuously rising from the chimney, as if someone was keeping the house warm. When investigators arrived, they found that the cattle and other farm animals had been recently fed and cared for. In the kitchen, food had been eaten, and meals had clearly been prepared. Think about that for a second. The killer or killers didn't just commit the massacre and flee into the night. No, they stayed. They lived in the house for several days, sleeping in the family's beds, eating their food, and going about daily chores. All while the bodies of the 6 people they had just murdered lay cold in the barn just a few yards away. They made themselves at home among their victims. To this day, the case remains unsolved. Over 100 suspects have been interviewed throughout the years, but no one was ever convicted. The murder weapon was never definitively found, and the motive remains a complete mystery. And those footprints in the snow, they were never ever identified.